there, Potion Masters, Chapter 31. The blizzard raged. There seemed to be no end in sight, and in the midst of it all, the wind carried a haunting howl across the frozen landscape. It sounded like an injured animal, wailing in agony. Wanda stood with her hand stretched beyond the mouth of the cave, collecting the stinging flakes in her palm. Her phone call had ended with her family, and though they were surviving, Wanda was not at peace. "How does it look?" Mesrick slinked up next to her. He narrowed his eyes and stared out at the abyss of gray. "Any signs of it letting up?" Wanda turned her head and smiled at her father. "Oh, yes," she answered coolly. "I can see the end of it." "That's good. Soon you'll be—" But Mesrick never finished his sentence. Priscilla pounced from behind and doused her father with a bottle of torpor tonic. The old man slumped to his knees, unconscious. "Grab him, quick!" Wanda shouted. "He won't stay under long." Priscilla bent down and picked up his feet. Wanda grabbed his hands, and the two of them hoisted his heavy, limp body over to the table. Bowls and cups scattered as Wanda cleared an area, and they dropped Mesrick's with a loud thud. "Why did you do that?" Mesrick groaned, reaching up with his hand to massage his temples. Wanda answered by pouring another vial of torpor tonic into his mouth. Once again, Mesrick fell limp. "That was less than 2 minutes," Priscilla said, breathless. "How many more do you have?" "1," Wanda said. "Grab something to tie him up with, but don't use any potion other than the torpor tonic. He's too powerful for anything else." Priscilla hurried to the other side of the cave. She tossed books and chairs. Metal cauldrons clanged as she brushed them aside. "Hurry, please." Wanda held the last vial of torpor tonic at the ready. She didn't know how much damage repeated doses of the powerful knockout agent would cause to her father, but right now she didn't care. If he woke up before they had him secured, they were both in serious danger. "Aha!" Priscilla cheered and held up a length of gnarled rope. She hurried back to Wanda, and they worked together to tie Mesrick securely to the table. No sooner had they tightened the final knot than their father groaned in pain and blinked his eyes open. "Are we finished yet? I can think of no worse activity. If you don't want me to dump the rest of the contents of my bag on top of you, you will start answering my questions immediately," Wanda snapped. Mesrick's nostrils flared with annoyance. "Fine. The storm?" Wanda asked. "It's not real, is it?" "No," he said dryly. "You blotched us," Priscilla asked. "Where's the tainted object?" Mesrick sighed. "It's the wooden cooking spoon." He pointed it with his chin over to the pot of stew. Priscilla grabbed the spoon, and Wanda removed 3 small packets of multicolored powder from her satchel. She sprinkled each packet onto the spoon in succession and then gripped the handle in her fingers. All at once, the raging storm vanished. In its place, a serene landscape of melting snow and mountain stone appeared. Sunlight crept through the cavern, warming everything it touched. The air was still bitter cold, but the sudden unexpected warmth made it seem almost like summer. "How long have you been working with Esmeralda?" Wanda asked. Mesrick raised one of his silvery eyebrows. "Define working with." Priscilla squeezed her arms tightly at her chest. "How? I don't understand how she could even know you're still alive. Greenland was the last inhabitant-free forbidden zone. There aren't coordinates or markers on any map at BREW. We were so careful." "It doesn't make any sense." "Relax, Pris," Mesrick soothed, running his tongue across the front of his teeth and suppressing a chuckle. "It's not what you think. In truth, I really don't know Esmeralda that well. I knew her parents and some of her relatives years ago, a bunch of crazies to be certain, but I'm not in cahoots with the Fostuses." "Then why are you helping them?" Priscilla asked. "Why did you keep us here?" Mesrick gave a slight shrug. "Opportunity knocked, and I simply opened the door. If Esmeralda succeeded in destroying the vessel, I would be free to walk away from this dreadful mountain." "You've endangered the lives of your grandchildren for your own gain," Wanda said. "You are truly despicable." "Don't say that," Mesrick pouted. "Your family is safe because of my help. Besides, I've changed my mind. I don't want Esmeralda to acquire the Eternity Elixir anymore. She seems too rash, too violent. The elixir should not end up in her hands." "Ha!" Priscilla smacked the table. "You're only saying that because you don't want us to leave you tied up in this cave." "Nonsense, dear Pris. I freed myself from these bindings the moment I woke up." Mesrick wriggled his arms, and the coils of rope dropped to the floor. It's a bothersome talent I have, I know." Both women leaped away from the table. Wanda squeezed the vial of torpor tonic in her hand, but Mesrick remained on his back. his palms held up in submission. You see now that I am more powerful than the two of you combined, and should I wish ill towards either one of you, I could do as I please. But that's not what I want. What do you want? Wanda asked. I want my family back, and if I have to remain in captivity here in Greenland, so be it. Come on, Wanda, Priscilla said, backing toward the cavern's opening. We don't need his help. But you do, Mesric said. You know you do. Who else will you take to take the elixir to? BREW headquarters? He clicked his tongue and grinned. If it were that simple, you would have done so 12 years ago. But you felt you couldn't go to BREW because you didn't trust they would be honorable in how they used it. Let's go, Priscilla grabbed Wanda's arm. But Wanda stood still, staring at her father. Everything he had said was true. Sure, there were good elixirists who worked at the headquarters, but none of them had encountered anything quite as powerful as the Eternity Elixir. If that potion fell into the wrong hands, like Esmeralda Faustus, there would be so much destruction. What are you proposing? Wanda asked. Mesrix propped his body up with his elbows. I propose a trade. You have the ingredients to concoct an axiom application, I assume? Wanda glanced down at her bag but faltered. Why would we need that? Because what I'm about to offer will seem like deception. Like everything else you've done, Priscilla said. Precisely, but I would like you to believe me. An axiom application should do the trick. Should there be any inkling of falseness in the deepest crevices of my mind, the axiom would find it and reveal it to you. Priscilla was shaking her head, but Mesrix held up a finger. Wanda believes me, don't you? He's right. Wanda stared once more into her bag. An axiom application is foolproof. What are you offering? Simple. Should you succeed in vanquishing your foe and acquiring the elixir, you shall bring it back here, and I shall destroy it. Wanda licked her lips. You won't try to use it to break free of your banishment? Mesrix moved his finger over his chest, crossing his heart. Absolutely not. What are your terms in exchange for destroying the elixir? Priscilla asked. The old man smiled. Just another visit from Wanda within the year. That's it? Wanda furrowed her brow. That's it. Then he smiled and his eyes widened. As long as you bring Gordy along with you on that visit. Wanda opened her mouth. Bring Gordy? Mesrix nodded. Yes, that is his name, is it not? You want me to bring my oldest son to the most dangerous scourge ever to terrorize the potion community? No, he waved his hand dismissively. I want you to bring your oldest son to his grandfather, and I promise you on my life no harm will come to him. He swung his legs over the side of the table. We will just visit with your supervision. I will share grandfatherly advice, and then I will destroy the Eternity Elixir. He brushed his hands together, and the axiom application will testify of my honest intent. Wanda turned away, and Priscilla drew in close next to her. You're not seriously considering bringing Gordy, are you? After all, Dad's done. Wanda covered her mouth with her hand and fought back the urge to cry. He wasn't always a horrible man, Pris. I don't want to go through this anymore. If we destroy the elixir, then we're free of it. She turned back around. All right, we'll make the deal. As long as you agree that after we've destroyed the elixir, both me and my son are free to leave forever. If that's what I have to live with, I'll take it. End of chapter 31.